Hey guys, this is Rebecca, and this is your welcome to Transition to Professional Practice Summer of 25. I'm super excited about this class. This is one of my favorite classes to teach, and I'm really excited for you guys as you go through it because I think there's the many sides of nursing that we're preparing you for, but this class specifically helps you to ensure that you're going to pass the NCLEX. It reviews so much to help you, and it also helps you with the professional side of getting the job that you want as well. So let's just get into a little bit. We'll go over more of this in class on Tuesday. But this is our landing page. Should look pretty familiar to everybody. Again, weekly navigation is here. This class is composed of three different areas. So NCLEX graduation application process. I'll go through that and show you, but you think that once you graduate, you could just take your NCLEX, right? Well, no, not really. Starting at the beginning of the term, there's going to be things that I'm going to have you do almost every week to help you prepare for the graduation process. So when you do graduate, you are able to go ahead and take the NCLEX. Some of that is also getting your Washington State, everything lined up there, getting everything ready for Pearson VUE, who gives the test. So there's a lot of different things that I have lined up for you, so it should be a smooth process. The other part of this class is the ATI capstone, which if I click on this capstone schedule, oh, I hope I updated it. Oh, I did. Good. Um, Oh, maybe I didn't update it. Okay, I'll have to go back and update this. Essentially, the first week, you're going to start looking at capstone, which is essentially like mini mastery exams, like you've done the whole program already. It's to refresh your knowledge and memory of different content areas. Each week is a different area. The first week is going to be foundations, going way back. You'll do that content. And then on Sundays, you're going to take a proctored test. Well, not on Sundays, but you need to do it by Sunday. So each week will be a new content area, and you have to have the proctored test done by Sundays. And when I say proctored test, it is proctored. They actually are going to look at your, I believe, your driver's license, and it's all remote proctored. But you need to have a place where you are set up, you can take the test without interruptions. And like I said, it doesn't have to be on Sundays, but I've had students, it's due Sunday because that's the last day the ATI will accept it, is on each Sunday. And I've had students who go log in to take it Sunday night at 11:30 when it's due by midnight, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not ready. I don't have time." So just remember by Sunday it is due for that test. Now, your instructor will get back to you based on that test, which would be your ATI instructor, and they actually will say, "Hey, here's some great areas. You did great. Other areas you might need just a little bit of work on." And they'll give you some remediation, some work to do to kind of make sure you're caught up on that. Those are due on the following Thursday after that Sunday. Then, sometime during that week, there'll be another module that opens up in ATI. I believe the second one is pharmacology, if I'm remembering correctly. And so it will refresh on everything pharmacology. You can look through it all, and then you'll take that proctor test by Sunday. Again, same type of deal where then anything that you need to kind of refresh, remediate on, they'll be due the following Thursday. We'll go over that again on class first day. The next part of the overall transition class is resumes and cover letters. I found that it can be very intimidating and it can be a little bit of a struggle to write a professional resume, especially in nursing, because if you haven't been a nurse before, sometimes it's hard to write your relevant experience. And we're going to go over how to do this and do it well, so that it is impressive to your people that you're going to be interviewing. All of this will accumulate in your individual project for this class, which is a mock interview panel, where near the end of class, you will go dressed in an interview outfit and sit before a panel of professionals and practice your interview skills. But don't worry, we're not going to throw you into it. The whole program, or not the whole program, the whole class has projects and assignments that lead up to your being able to do that well. A couple of important dates for the classes. First day of class, we're going to meet in our classroom and then we're going to hop over to the testing center to do your comprehensive A test. And you're like, comprehensive A, why am I taking this test if I'm taking all these other tests? Well, it's kind of like the predictor test that we're going to take at the end of the program. The predictor test tells you, hey, if this was the NCLEX, if I took it right now, and it will give you a probability of whether or not you would pass the NCLEX. Of course, it's not foolproof, but it's pretty good. So this is a practice test A. We give it to you at the very beginning of the term because we don't expect you to be at a passing level, right? But if you look over here on August 5th, getting closer to where you're going to graduate and be ready to pass the NCLEX, we do a comprehensive test B. And hopefully you're going to see some growth as you've been reviewing those modules, studying. Comprehensive test B should look better than test A. And then the week of August 18th, 19th, and 20th, you're going to be here on campus all day. It's the ATI Live Review, which is a really, sounds daunting. You're like 3 full days. But when I was a student nurse, I actually went and found one of these NCLEX review classes and paid for it out of pocket because I knew that they were so helpful to prepping students to be able to pass the NCLEX. It's similar to what we're doing in reviewing all the capstone modules, doing everything, but it's a live, in-person, interactive class, 3 days of classes that will get you ready to pass the NCLEX. And then on the fourth day, the 21st, you're going to come and take the predictor test, which will give you a good idea if you're ready to pass the NCLEX. After that, we'll set another date that another week after that. If you don't feel confident with your predictor, you can come back and take another one. So let's just take a quick peek at the modules because sometimes I think that can help you make a little more sense of things. So in module 1, you can see, hey, we've got our welcome, scope of practice, practice assessment A. All right, that makes sense. Um, we have some things for your ATI capstone, some get started assignments, acknowledgement, agreement, syllabus, and scope of practice. Each week, you're also going to have, wait, I said that wrong, syllabus and acknowledgement. Each week, you're also going to have discussion boards. Guess what? Those discussion boards are actually designed to help you answer interview questions well. They also relate to our program and course objectives as well. But for instance, this assignment talking about scope of practice, it helps you understand what is in your scope of practice. What if somebody asks you to do something that's not in your scope of practice? How do you handle that? You've been paired up with with a partner. If you go under people, you can see who your partner is, and you guys are going to delegate something to each other, and then go look up here and see in your practice act or down here, you can look to see, is that in my scope of practice? How would I respond? So each week you're going to have a discussion board maybe similar to that, but will help you answer essentially interview questions. Then there's also going to be things with like your resume or interview, which the first one is super simple, you guys. You all have access to Microsoft Word, and so you can go in and look at resumes and cover letters. For this assignment, all you have to do is pick one that looks good and put your name on it. First step, super simple, right? Then when we go back to like week 2, bum bum, when we go down to resume interview, you're going to take that same resume that you already started and you're going to put your job history on there. And the assignment walks you through. So each week you're going to build on that. You can also see the graduation NCLEX application header that I have. That's what I was talking about, where it's actually a little more involved with graduating, getting ready to take your NCLEX, applying for it. So I have things all through the program or all through the term that will help you get ready for that. And like I said, here's the fundamentals assignment. So, oh yeah, it's week 2 and fundamental starts. So on this Sunday, the 29th, by then you have to take that assessment. And then by the Thursday following, you have to complete your post assignment. One thing I want to make sure you guys know is that I put these dates for the post assignments, I put them on there to remind you to do it in ATI. If you turn it in on ATI when it's due on that Thursday, your instructor is not going to have time to grade it. If That's okay. I'm not. I don't need you to turn it in to me on Canvas before it's graded by ATI. You just have to turn it in on ATI. And then once your instructor on ATI gives you a grade, then you turn it into Canvas. I just keep the Canvas dates here to help you remind you of when it's due in ATI. I will not count you as late in Canvas if you turn it in late. Like after the Canvas due date, if that makes sense. We'll explain more in class. Okay, hopefully this helps you understand a little bit. Super excited to do this with you guys. It's a fun class. It's interesting. It covers a lot of different things like legal, the law, consent, advocacy. There's just some really great things that we cover in this class. And so I'm really excited to have this class, to teach it, and to see you guys get ready to launch into your nursing careers. All right. Well, I hope you guys all have a good break. And then I'll see you all at the end of the month. All right. Bye.